What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Basic Series Superstar number 11, Jerry the King Lawler. Now here we have Jerry the King in the packaging. We'll go on more on his detail later, and there's dust all over the packaging, even though he's relatively new. He is in the new WWE display box. As you can see, the new WWE logo is etched on the plastic, so that's a really nice touch. On the back, no real read-up, just a picture of Jerry the King Lawler. And other figures in this line include Big Show, Kofi Kingston, Bad News Barrett, and Batista. And just a little tidbit of information, originally planned for this wave was Sheamus, but somehow they omitted him from this series, so instead of getting 6 figures, we only get 5. But that's all the other figures of this line, so what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him opened up, and we'll go on to the rest of his review, so sit tight, everyone. So here we have Jerry the King Lawler posing out of the packaging. Now let's get a good 360 of this guy. I really do like the figure, don't get me wrong, but there is one major issue I have with the figure, and as you can see, he's not really standing up straight. He's like leaning off to one side. That is because there is some quality control on mine that I cannot fix no matter what I do. If you don't know what that is, let me actually zoom in so you can see that. I'm not sure if you can tell, but the detail on the lower leg is the exact same for both legs. You can see the wrinkles out here match the wrinkles over here, and vice versa. In fact, I'm not even sure if you can see that, but this joint seems to be in at an angle. That's because this is the exact same joint as this leg. Is that correct? No, this is a mismatched part. Now, which one is mismatched? I honestly don't know, but if I had to guess, it would have to be this one, because it feels like moving it past that is like messing up the joint more, and it actually is loosening it up, actually. So yeah, moving this knee actually does loosen up the leg, so I'm guessing that this lower part of the knee is wrong, which is a little unfortunate because I was really looking forward to this figure. You know, it's the King. I missed out on his Elite release, and you know, that's kind of sucky that actually happened, but you know, it comes with the territory of collecting. Eventually you're going to get some quality control that you can't, you know, work around. But anyway, let's go on to some of the detail on the King. Let's actually get him. That's pretty good likeness to what the King looks like now. You know, he has aged quite a bit, so age is catching up with him. And then you see a lot of nice detail on his shirt. In case you don't know what those initials stand for, they stand for Jerry the King Lawler. And then you can see what looks like a coat of arms emblem right there, but really nice detail on the shirt. On the back, it does say King Me, and a lot of nice designs there, so that's pretty neat. He does have the crowns going up and down his pants and even onto his boot. There is a little white dot of paint right there, but that's no big deal. It's nothing that like's gonna make or break the figure for me, but those joints are. But like I said, really good likeness. The only thing that would have made this better is if he actually came with a little crown accessory, but unfortunately, since he is a basic figure, no accessories. None whatsoever. Although, if you take off the shirt, I guess you can call it an accessory. It's not meant to be taken off. There's a seam right here, and on this side. But it is affixed to him. You can't take it off. As you can see, it is glued down, so don't try to take it off unless you're trying to customize the figure. I don't know what the shirt looks like underneath that. I might actually have to look that up on what is actually underneath this rubber shirt. And it doesn't hinder any of the articulation at all. He does have a standard ball jointed head. He can look up, down, left and right, as well as tilt. No, can't tilt the head. I thought he could. Arms on a ball joint go out to about that far. do a full 360. He bends at the elbow. And he also spins at the elbow. No bicep swivel. Although you can see he has a really sharp elbow joint, and that kind of meshes in with that, which that looks better. That kind of doesn't, but, you know, what are you going to do? He spins at the wrist as well as bend. No ab crunch of any kind that I can find. This is a solid joint right here, but he does have a waist swivel. Legs go forward and back. He bends at the knee single jointed. He spins at the boot and has a standard hinge ankle. So all the articulation you'd expect from a basic figure, like I said, that is really bugging me on his legs, and honestly that does suck. But what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him posed up, and move on to my final thoughts, then we'll wrap up this review, so sit tight everyone. And so here we have Jerry the King Lawler posed next to the announce table. What is Jerry the King if not one of the voices of the WWE? And of course I just had to have the announce table with him. But anyway, going on. He's a really nice figure. Like, so mine just suffers from this joint, which is kind of a letdown, to be honest. But you know what? I at least have the figure. That's the important thing. He does have a lot of nice detail. He doesn't have a crown, though, or a headset, which either one would have been nice for him to have. But anyway, if you can find this guy in stores, I highly recommend you pick him up. I mean, you need a Jerry the King Lawler to announce your matches, and if you have an announce table, you need the commentary, or you need commentary, right? So why not pick up Jerry the King Lawler? I picked mine up at Walmart for about $10.80 with tax, and I picked it up on sale, so that's probably a good price, seeing as how figures are going up nowadays. If you can find Jerry the King Lawler in stores, I highly recommend you pick him up, especially if you're like trying to fill out your WWE collection and you need an announce team. But that being said, this is King of Dragons 5000 saying I'll see you later. Take care, everyone. 小さな明かり灯した夜の